Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. So I've had to record this like twice now because the audio has been so awkward, so hopefully this comes through okay. So today I'm going to be doing your weekly forecast from February the 1st to February the 6th to the 7th. I'm going to be looking at some of the energies surrounding the week in particular. So I've got this open here, this chart that you may see. This is for today. This is Sunday the 31st, so depending on when you're watching this video, this may seem irrelevant, but I'm just going to show you the kind of things that I look at when I look at energies, okay? So for example, we have got the Sun in Aquarius, we have this Moon in Virgo, and we also have retrograde in Aquarius, okay? So as you can see here, Sun, Aquarius, Moon, Virgo, Mercury, Aquarius, Venus, Capricorn, X, Y, Z. This Mercury retrograde is important because this is when communication is kind of complicated. So the way that you say things comes across a little bit differently than what you mean. So, for example, if you're texting somebody, you might give a very witty, sarcastic remark that you think is funny, and then someone says, "What does that mean?" And you're like, "What do you mean?" It's like, what's that supposed to mean? And it comes across really awkward. It's like the tone is very snippy, you didn't mean it that way, but it comes across that way. If you're having conversations at work, for example, there may be a bit of a power struggle going on there. You might seem egotistical. You're not coming across that way at all. It's like, whoa, lost in translation majorly here, okay? I just want to break down this chart a little bit here because we have the Moon in Virgo today, here on the 31st, but we will have it in Libra on the February the 1st for a couple of days. Moon in Virgo is interesting because this is like very characterized by being self-critical, but also wanting to find the facts, being fine edge, being very, very controlling. Interesting, I link this to, trying to take control of things to the government, okay? And I link that because we have Chiron here in Aries. Chiron is very much like betrayal. So Aries Chiron, to me, is a warrior on the battlefield that died and didn't need to. I can link that a little bit to the government. With the pandemic going on. Have your opinions about that, of course. I'm not going to sway anyone's opinion on it, but I always see it interestingly that, we have that Chiron and Aries warrior spirit with, I think I could have done a better job too in the government. You get paid £120,000 and, you're giving us all this kind of thing. Then you've got things like Jupiter and Aquarius, very expansive, some more humanitarian, more eccentric, so it's like big ideas are a little bit bold and out of the box. So this is just an example of the way that I'm looking at things, okay? So this is just for today. So what I'm going to do is give you a breakdown of every sign and kind of just show you what's going to happen in the week. So I'm going to start with Aries. Okay, Aries, you're going to be feeling really passionate this week, so hitting the ground running. You're going to be wanting to satisfy desires and urges, especially if it's to do with a female figure in your life. So if you're a man, or even if a woman, and you're interested in another woman, it's really important to kind of act on those urges a little bit. It's interesting because during a retrograde, a lot of people tell us that we shouldn't act on things, we shouldn't take risks, or we should do this and that. I don't think you should stop living life just because of a placement. I think it's important to satisfy your urges if you have them. This is going to be like an emotional flushing out for you, so you're going to feel more energetic after this. It's like, oh, this is a thing that I needed to get out of my chest. And I think specifically Monday evening around 9 p.m. through to Wednesday 4 p.m. in the afternoon, you're going to feel more creative, more motivated, very King of Swords, and wanting to actually make things happen. So that managerial Aries side. Towards the latter end of the week, you might feel a bit more overwhelmed by what I'd call the nitty-gritty things in life, having to do all your bills and your errands and that kind of stuff, or you are worried about the details of something big that you want to do, okay? So this might be linked to finance, for example. Just take a deep breath, keep moving on. It's going to be important that in the weekend we're going to feel a bit more like we can get what we want, so we're going to feel more like life's on our side and luck's on our side. So it's going to be generally a good week for feeling very creative and trying to clear our energy out. If you're interested in love, I really wouldn't try to start anything new right now, and I also wouldn't try to, unload all your feelings onto somebody new in your life either, because it can scare them away. I think it's really important to just focus on something else other than love this week in particular, Aries. Okay, Taurus, I mentioned in your February reading, if you watched it on my channel, that hard work is going to be something that characterizes your month. That's actually no exception for this week. So you're going to want to take a risk when it comes to work. You're going to want to be a bit more daring, sort of dream to dare and dare to dream, especially on Monday evening going through to Wednesday about 8 p.m. at night. You're going to want to be more controlling of work. That can come across as a little bit egotistical to somebody else and actually even a bit aggressive. There may be a bit of a power struggle going on because someone sees you as trying to take control of a situation. You're just trying to put your effort in and your work and take risks. Those risks will be rewarded though, so it's always really good to take chances and opportunities when you are presented with them. If this is specifically like romantic things that you're interested in life, that is a really good time to take a risk too, to express your love and to make the grand gesture. Again, I think a little bit of diplomacy will work wonders here, a little bit more Libra, trying to, smooth down some of the disruption in your life. Really good time for romance again towards the end of the week. So this is actually a nice romantic week for Taurus. Obviously, if you're not interested in that, then that won't apply. But it will apply to how you feel charming to other people and how other people appear to you too. On the weekend, it's a really good time for you to get out of that work cycle and to look for something that excites you. So something a little bit outside of your routine, maybe a new project, something where you talk to a friend, because friendship is a really big thing this week, and just finding something that gives you more motivation and excitement that isn't actually about work. Okay, Gemini, so this week it's going to be interesting because there's a sense of conflict and compromise this week. So you're going to be the centre of attention, towards the middle of the week. People are going to really like you. Your ideas come off as really great. You're going to be thinking of really great ideas. I mentioned in my February 2021 reading that we're going to have some, exciting and enthusiastic ideas that people are very interested in. But you might not feel very flexible this week, so it might be that you're feeling a bit self-critical. Something is disrupting you, okay? Specifically on Monday, it's like, maybe I'm too busy, my schedule's not clearing up, there's just some kind of conflict, and that can make you feel a little bit overwhelmed and like you can't compromise as well as you normally would be able to. Towards the latter end of the week, you'll probably feel a little bit overwhelmed with having to do smaller little nitty-gritty things similar to Aries. So you're going to be doing things like bills and paying off debts, and it's like, oh, this is so irritating, but kind of the adult stuff that you have to get on with. But you're going to have a lot more fun on the weekend, specifically Saturday night. You'll have a girls' night or a guys' night, and you'll have some nice energy with friendships, with having flirtatious conversations, with having exciting ideas. There's going to be a sense of you taking on kind of new things and having that really enthusiastic energy this week. I would hold off on making big decisions when it comes to romance, and I also wouldn't worry if someone's giving you hot and cold behaviour at the moment. It's not going to last, it's just a phase. Okay, Cancer, you're going to be like an Energizer bunny. You're going to be so enthusiastic and proper King of Swords. You're going to feel really, really good. You'll have a lot of drive and a lot of ambition. And you're going to inspire others, it's going to be like a collaboration, almost that you feel enthusiastic, it spreads onto other people, vice versa. It's a nice pool of energy. You're going to feel very extravagant, very extravaganza, darling, very opulent, very good. I would be very careful about taking risks this week though, and I also think I would be very careful about, there's a fine line between being confident and arrogant, and sometimes you can think, oh my god, my week's going so great, I'm going to jump off the building because I think I can fly. No, I wouldn't do that. I would be very careful about taking risks. I think towards the latter end of the week, I would break things down into smaller, little tangible tasks that will help you achieve your goals more successfully. So if you have a big project, try to break that down into chapters, or, for example, I'm going to use a really, really simple, mundane example, cleaning. You're going to clean one room at a time, and you're not going to try and do it all at once. On the weekend, because we are in a retrograde, communication is very difficult. I would be so careful about talking to people in your home. So if you live with your family or a romantic partner, there is real disruption there. I would be very careful about the way you speak. And I would also just be very wary that if something does happen, be a Libra, okay? Be very diplomatic and be like, look, I see this for what it is, and apologise, and don't be hard-headed about it, for example. If you're interested in love and you're single at the moment, it's a really good time to talk to someone online and get a conversation going. You're going to feel very flirtatious again, feeling very on the ball with it. Okay, Leo, you're going to have a really good week. I actually mentioned in our February reading that from the 1st to the 14th, you're going to have people in your life that are really affable and charming. They want to help you, and so you want to help them. That is really characterized this week. You're going to be feeling very generous with your affection. You're going to want to help people. You'll feel warm. You feel genuine. And it's almost like, while I help them, they help me, and it's very mutual. So there's a sense of real mutual respect and being able to support each other. From Monday to the middle of the week, you're going to be the centre of attention, so you're going to love it, Leo. You're going to be the centre of attention, and people are going to be really putting more effort in to invite you to places and to just kind of get you involved. As mentioned in the February reading, towards the latter end of the week going into the early hours of Saturday, you're going to be understanding a little bit more about your funds and your long-term strategies and plans in life. So your 5-year plan, for example. So if you've got a house, if you're going to sell it, if you're going to buy one, if you're going to have a romance with this person, a family life, there's just a long-term plans. There's just a long-term strategy here, and it is surrounded specifically around money. Then on the weekend, specifically Sunday evening, you're going to be focusing a lot on your friendships and just having a lot of fun. And I think it's going to be like, look, I've done my adult stuff of long-term planning and now I'm going to relax and have more fun. So it's going to be quite good actually when it comes to that. When it comes to love, it's really important that you show more intimate, raw side of yourself, so a more gentle, sweet side. That person will really appreciate it because it comes off as being very cute and authentic. Okay, Virgo, so we're going to be wanting to do more group work this week, so kind of focused on friendship and being a bit more social than normal, but also it's going to help you to try and control that aspect of social activity. So it's like, we've got an activity, I really want to plan it, it makes me feel better to control it. From the start of the week to Wednesday evening, you might feel overwhelmed by what I'd call adult things, details, and there might be a spanner in the works, and it's like, oh my god, now I've got to look at all these little details and flesh it out, and I can't be bothered, and it's just, despair. But I wouldn't worry about it. It may feel like you don't have much flexibility, but you can actually help yourself, and you can get more control with the situation. It might also be that you don't actually even know why you feel that way. Like, past couple of days I felt really obsessive and I don't know why, and then suddenly it just clicked, and that's going to be you towards the latter end of the week. It's like everything makes perfect sense now and it's completely clicked. I think that's going to be to do with your intuition and your insights in life. So I think for the rest of the weekend you're going to be enjoying friendships, but also looking for a way to dig deep into your psyche, I would say, to understand more about yourself. I wouldn't focus too much on love this week because I think it's more about friendships and like this group activity. But if you are interested in love, it's a good time to get very intimate and raw with a partner and to see another side to them. Okay, Libra, we have a Libra moon at February the 1st for a couple of days, and it's going to be very interesting because you're going to be a real leader this week. You're going to want to just put your head down, work, be very, very genuine in the way that you do things. You're going to be a very generous and optimistic leader. Some people may see that as you being egotistical because we are in a retrograde, so communication can come across quite odd. People might try and disrupt you, insult you, try to take advantage of your easygoing nature, but what you need to do is just bat that off by being easygoing, by being like, yeah, whatever. I'm very flexible when it comes to this, and I take life with a pinch of salt. Towards the latter end of the week, we're going to be looking for opportunities to get support from friendships and from romance, and specifically someone to just listen to us, because we need to unload some of our feelings. And I think that's going to help us going into the weekend feeling more charismatic and energetic, and specifically those who are interested in love, who are single at the moment, feeling way more flirtatious, feeling playful. But I wouldn't go too much into that. I think it's important to start small and to be like, let's just see how this thing develops. Let's just go with it, and let's not plan too much. Let's not just throw away the prenup because we think it's going well. If some of you guys have got Scorpio rising in your chart for Libra, it's important that you be careful about the tensions between the home life, the family, and the love life, because it can be that you feel like you might have to choose between two, and obviously you're balanced. You don't want to have to choose between two. Okay, Scorpio, so there's going to be a real tension between the home life, so family, and romance this month, but particularly this week as well. And this might be a very difficult situation that you might have to deal with on the weekend. You know, Sunday, it's like I'm trying to relax and I can't stop thinking about this issue. I need to be able to deal with it head on, okay? But as the week begins, we're actually going to be feeling more confident and more confident in our self-concepts and not wanting to be too modest about our skills, and we actually want to go after things. This is a really good week to be able to fulfill ambitions and to see opportunities for ourselves. Even opportunities and dreams that others might say is a pipe dream, we're manifesting it, for example, it's going to be a really good time for us to say, I don't really care about your opinion, I'm going to go and do it anyway. However, there is a fine line between confidence and arrogance. Some people may see your confidence as egotistical because we're in a retrograde and communication can come across as a little bit different right now. Very entangled almost, and there's a bit of a power struggle that is causing disruption there, and it might overwhelm you. So it's a really good time for you at the latter end of the week to spend time with friends who are supportive and they know who you are. You know, they don't say you're like this, you're not like this, that they know who you are. For love in particular, I would do more thinking and less talking this week for love. I would just, think more intuitively in my head rather than actually speaking, because I think sometimes this week you might be able to speak but you're not really saying anything. You know, it's like you're talking a lot but you're not saying anything, so it's best just to not speak at all. Okay, Sagittarius, my sign, how exciting. So we're going to be like Nancy Drew this week. We're going to be really inquisitive. We're going to want to ask some questions that we maybe don't want the answer to, but we know we do need the answer to. So it's a lot of asking and seeking, you know? And then finally, we are going to get the answers on the weekend. And so we're kind of on this pursuit all week, and then we finally get the result, and then we can relax, you know? We can feel better about ourselves. The start of the week really starts with being intuitive, fleshing things out, trying to look for those answers, but trying to balance that with feeling free and happy and optimistic, and not trying to take life too seriously. In the middle of the week, just before Thursday, luck's going to be on our side with a risk that we want to take, specifically with a job or some kind of side hustle, something to do with financial career. Is going to be really important, and it's going to be lucky. It's going to seem really exciting to us, and we're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to jump in and be the fool in tarot and take that risk. However, towards the latter end of the week, specifically Friday, we're going to feel way more cautious about things and trying to assess the details a little bit. Again, see how that might help us get an answer to a question. And again, we're going to get those answers on Saturday. So it's going to be a nice progression of trying to find the answers to things, getting them, going up and down with luck and taking risks and not taking risks. But generally, pretty good week for Sagittarius. If you're interested in love, there's going to be a bit of a energy of lost in translation. So it's almost like a he said, she said thing, where it's like I'm trying to look for common ground because you're just giving me complete opposite. It's like you're giving me a 10, right? Just bring it down to a 2, because there's just a bit of disruption going on here. We're lost in translation, and all relationships have that element, but there's just a very strange energy of romance going on for Sagittarius. So much like Scorpio, I would think and not talk. Okay, Capricorn. There's just a weird energy for Capricorn this week. It's not necessarily bad. It's just like a lot of challenge. It's like, you know, when you have a conversation with somebody, it's going to turn into a debate that's going to irritate you. There's going to be ideas that are very challenging, specifically at the start of the week, and you're like, I'm not sure how I can understand this. This is so difficult. This is just complicating things. And it may cause you to overreact. There's just an energy of overreaction this week. I wouldn't take things too personally. We're in a retrograde. Things are being said that are not intended that way. And, you know, if something is a debate, it can come across as being very personal to you. I would just bat it off, take it with a pinch of salt and think, you know what, I'm going to be diplomatic and more Libra here. Meditate on what you're trying to say to me and actually understand it more. You will get some help on this, some support from somebody that you wouldn't expect, somebody that you don't speak to a lot, and they might be like, actually, I'm going to put my 2 cents in here and show you how it is. And that's specifically towards the end of the week, you know, Thursday, Friday, that kind of thing. You're going to want to take more control with things, want to plan things, and, you know, on the weekend, you're going to want to speak with friends, you know, get some support from them, and also focus on what you think you can control in particular. If you are interested in love and you've been like dating and it hasn't worked out, or someone's ghosting you, they're just not replying, just keep trying, okay? It seems like it's despair and it's not happening and it's like, why me? Just keep going. It's all about divine timing, you know, it's all about being in the right place at the right time, feeling good about it. Just keep going. If you don't succeed, try again. Okay, Aquarius, so interesting, we have Sun in Aquarius and we also have a Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, so things might seem a little bit tense and people might not be as affectionate with you and you might have to control your anger a little bit more. Just a phase, so take a deep breath and relax, okay? So from the start of the week going to the middle of the week, it might seem that things are a little bit jerky. So you're going here, there, up and down like an Amsterdam girl, everything's going a little bit crazy, you know, sudden shifts, and the way that you see things is a little bit different, so your perspective changes rather drastically. But I wouldn't worry about that too much. It's actually might be for a good thing. So it might be that you want to start a new project or you want to seek something more exciting in life. Towards the latter end of the week, you'll be taking more time to understand your finances and some of your business curriculum. So if you're trying to invest in something, I would hold off on doing that. I would also be careful of comparing yourself and your finances to people in your life or people that you work with. It's really important to know that we're all on different journeys at different paces and also at different times. On the weekend, it's a really good time to be able to speak to your friends, but also for those of you who are single, to find somebody new, okay? It's a really good time to find somebody new and to try and get something going. It's baby steps, but just to get the ball rolling a little bit. Emotions are going to be running really high, so I think finding some way to keep yourself grounded in love is going to be very helpful. I also wouldn't let your emotions throw you off, you know, I wouldn't let your self-criticism or the way that other people see you, or even, like I said, your finances, stop you from trying to create something new and, you know, be a little bit different. Okay, Pisces. So I actually mentioned in my February reading that you're going to want to try something new. So you're going to want to try a new haircut or a new style, change up your routine a little bit. And you're going to definitely want to be doing that this week. So you're going to want to, you know, have a different dinner, have a different routine, you know, different running playlists, that kind of thing. You're wanting to change things up. I wouldn't get bogged down by the details of things in your life, especially towards Tuesday and Wednesday. I think it's going to be very interesting because you may feel overwhelmed by small things in your life. Like, you know, when you have a lot of small things that just build up and it's like it's a mountain, but it's actually a molehill. It just seems like a mountain. It's very important to avoid toxicity around people, with friendships and in the workplace in particular. And really for this week I just see a real air of gossip and drama, and it's just important to not get swept up in the drama, not get swept up in others' opinions of you. It's really important to be able to speak to friends that actually know you and they actually have your best interests at heart. Towards the latter end of the week, especially Friday and Saturday, you're going to be feeling really active, and it's going to be like, I don't need to know all the prep work, I'm just going to jump in and do it and be spontaneous. And then early Sunday, you're going to be working a little bit more on your debts. So having a 3-point plan type of thing, trying to figure out what to do with your debts. Also, if you had issues with a partner or with a family member, trying to figure out a way to work through those struggles. So maybe it's like something I've always wanted to say to you, or it's been brushed under the rug and now we need to actually expose it a little bit more. When it comes to love, you are going to feel very inspired, you know, and you're going to inspire other people too. And it's going to be really interesting because, like I say, you're going to change things up and it's going to make you seem a little bit brighter and a bit more creative, and that's very attractive to people. So changing things up a little bit, I think is going to be really beneficial for you guys. Okay guys, that was the roundup of the zodiac signs. So as I mentioned, we are in Mercury retrograde, so communication is going to be a bit different. I think there's going to be a sense of group activities generally for this month and this week for Aquarius. You know, there's going to be a sense of family. There's also going to be a real sense of relationships coming back into the fold. You know, you may want to reject them, you may want to accept them, but there's definitely going to be a sense of old relationships being rekindled, old friendships being rekindled, and you may even dream about this. You know, you may dream of friends from the past coming back into your life, and I actually have had this where I've been like, I haven't seen this person in 10 years, why am I thinking of them? And there's just a sense of the old coming back into the new. So that was this weekly forecast, guys. Let me know if you liked it, because I'm sure you'll let me know if you didn't like it. Some of you may like or may not like this kind of form of astrological charts where you can see all the placements and the degrees that they're at. Let me know if you're interested in looking at that more in depth, and I can show you a little bit more how I analyse the chart and how I kind of come up with what I do. I know some of us don't like it because it's a bit like Pythagoras' theorem. It's confusing. But some people might enjoy it, so yeah, just let me know. And I hope you have an amazing week, and yeah, I'll see you around. Bye, guys.